Gravel is all about possibilities. Whether you're racing in the mud, crossing a continent, or just ripping your local trails, you and your bike have to be ready for anything. Santa Cruz has been around for 30 years and they have a ton of experience building bikes that can take a beating. This is their brand new Stigmata 4 gravel bike. Let's check it out. The Santa Cruz Stigmata first came out in 2007. Back then it was an aluminum cantilever brake cyclocross bike. Obviously off-road road bikes have changed quite a bit in 16 years and the Stigmata has evolved with them. The new Stigmata has the same beautiful, clean industrial design that all Santa Cruz bikes have, but even though it still looks like the old Stigmata, there's a lot that's different under the skin and it is a totally different animal. I'm Thomas, I work for Jenson USA. I'm the bicycle category replenisher, so I buy the bikes and make sure they're in stock. And I'm going to be happy to take you through all the changes on this one, show you a quick look at what makes it different, what makes it stand out. So the most important change, which is also the least obvious here, is the geometry. The last two generations of Stigmata were both gravel bikes and they were fantastic bikes, fantastic reviews. They were class leading in their own right. But for the time, they were kind of middle of the road geometry. Not conservative, not progressive, just basically par for the course. This new 4th generation Stigmata throws all that out the window. It's one of the most progressive bikes on the market now. So they made it 30 millimeters longer in reach, 5 millimeters longer at the chainstay, and 2.5 degrees slacker at the head tube. So for some perspective, other bikes in this category like the Niner RLT or the Ibis Haka, they have head angles around 71 degrees. The Stigmata is at 69.5. You can probably count the number of bikes, gravel bikes, with a head tube angle under 70 degrees on one hand. And basically that means the same thing it would for a mountain bike. The bike is more capable, more stable, more confident on steep and rough terrain. But there's another side to it for gravel bikes. If you're on, let's say, a really long race like Unbound or BWR, or just a long multi-day bikepacking trip, the longer reach and the slacker head tube angle, combined with the shorter stem to maintain agility, mean that the bike is going to be stable, comfortable, calm handling. You're rolling along, sailing across the prairie or whatever, it's not going to beat you up. You don't have to struggle to keep it on line like a crip bike. Very comfortable, but still agile. The Stigmata takes a lot of other tech from Santa Cruz's mountain bikes too. The most obvious is that the frame is suspension corrected, so you can run a 40 millimeter suspension fork up here. And if you're not running the suspension fork, if the bike is rigid like this one is, then you have extra tire clearance, extra mud clearance, so the front end isn't going to pack up on you. But suspension fork or not, you have the same geometry. You can also run SRAM's T-type drivetrains, they're mountain bike drivetrains on this bike. It uses the universal derailleur hanger standard from SRAM, so that means it's easier for you to find spares, but it also means that you can really turn this into a total mountain bike. You can have a suspension fork, you can have the mountain bike drivetrain, you can even run a dropper post on this bike, so basically a drop bar mountain bike for the gnarliest road rideable trails you can imagine. But if you want to take your bike in the other direction, that's cool too. The bike can run fenders, and as you can see, it can also run a front derailleur mount. Santa Cruz made their own custom band clamp front derailleur mount, so it's super clean if you take it off, but if you leave it on there, you can run 2x, anything you want. Anything really from Ultegra all the way to XX SL. So the bike will clear 50 millimeter 29er tires, and finally, it has Santa Cruz's class-leading glove box down tube storage. So, you know, lots of gravel bikes, if you're out on the trails or long distance, you want to be able to carry all your spares and everything, but that means you're going to have to load up your bike with bags or you're going to have to carry a backpack. With the Stigmata, you don't have to do any of that. You can carry all this stuff, never forget it, and it looks just as clean as when it came out of the box. So that's the Santa Cruz Stigmata. This 4th gen bike will basically take anything you want to throw at it, any trail, any adventure, any set of parts. It's your choice. It's ready for anything. We have bikes in stock and frames in stock now, or call in to one of our Gear Advisor pros and they can help set you up with the build that's right for you. Thank you and keep pedaling.